So let's take a closer look at the brain. The picture on your left is a healthy brain with healthy blood flow. That's what our brains would look like. Well, you can clearly see the difference. There is no blood flow. When a brain receives a traumatic injury, it swells. The swelling has to go somewhere. So what happens? All the pressure is placed down towards the brainstem area, which is the softest area of the brain. That blood flow, it's trying to get through, but it can't because of the swelling. So it herniates in that area and the blood flow is cut off. So that gives you an idea of what happens with brain death. Why then do you think if people are eligible to donate organs when they die, why do so many people choose not to? We don't need our organs when we're dead. To me, it's a no-brainer. Well, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions out there. So we are going to cover the facts about donation by answering some of the most frequently asked questions. Will doctors try as hard to save my life? Yes, the number one priority of the hospital staff is to save your life. They don't know you're an organ donor when you're in the hospital. They do not have access to the organ registry ever. They literally have to contact our agency to find out if a person is a registered donor. So they are not going through your stuff looking for your driver's license. Hey, we found one. No, the doctors that perform the transplants are completely different than those doing the life-saving procedures, and all doctors take oaths that they will do no harm. Can I still donate if I have other medical concerns? Yes. The only disease that would stop you from being a donor is cancer. Cancer can go into remission, so if that were the case, they could still possibly donate. But if it's active, no. They will test the organs on a case-by-case basis to make sure they're healthy prior to transplant. So if a person has diabetes, they wouldn't be able to donate their pancreas, but diabetics can still be donors. What does my religion say about donation? All major religions support donation. I'm not going to get into specific ones, but if you have a question regarding your faith, your beliefs, talk to your leaders. Most of them see it as an individual choice, and they support a person's agency. Can I still have an open casket funeral? Yes, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There are things they have to do. Stuff happens when we die, not that we like to think about it. Our body's made up of 2/3 part water. When we die, those fluids drain. Our eyes are made out of fluids. They actually shrivel up. Sorry. So in order to prevent the eye area from sinking in, from becoming concave, they actually use prosthetic eyes, like this little round plastic ball. They also have this little eye cap, so they can use both of them together. Most of the time, they actually just use this by itself. There's little ridges on it. That's what keeps the eyelid closed. They try not to have to sew it shut or glue it shut. They want the body to look as natural as possible. That is what they're going to do. Why not donate your corneas so someone can see? They're going to do that anyways. You can donate bones. Say they took out the long bone in your arm, your humerus bone. Ha. They would replace it with a prosthetic, something similar to this. They do have different styles. So they would insert it in, they can adjust it to the size needed, then they would sew it up. So again, your body would appear to be intact. There'd be something there to replace the bone they took. Not fancy, just a piece of wood. It doesn't work, but remember, they're dead. They have better prosthetics for living people. You can donate skin. If they took skin, they would remove it from non-visible areas like your back, the back of your arms, the back of your leg. Your internal organs are supported by your rib cages. So when they remove those, you wouldn't even know. So you can have an open casket funeral and still be a donor. Who pays for donation? The family does not pay for any of the donation-related expenses. They're not going to get a bill for the recovery costs of the organs. Now, let's say you want to be a living donor. You want to donate a kidney when you're 18. You wouldn't have to pay for it. Those costs would be covered. Recipients do have to pay. I'm not going to lie. Transplants aren't cheap. They're pretty pricey, but it is illegal to sell your organs. So don't be thinking, oh, I could use some extra cash. I'll just put my kidney on KSL, eBay, Amazon. No, if you sell, you'll go to jail. Don't do that. Am I too old or young to be a donor? You can donate from birth until you pass away. Over 80, they're not going to use a lot of the major organs because, of course, as we age, so do our organs. But they can use corneas from the elderly. The donor and the recipient have to be similar in age. You wouldn't want to put an 80-year-old heart into a 20-year-old body. That would not be good. However, the other way around, not too bad, right? Suddenly that 80-year-old's like, ooh, I'm feeling good. I got my young heart. I'm ready to go. So a baby would have to receive a heart from another baby. So this is Alex. His parents were told before he was even born that he would need to have a heart transplant. He had his first surgery when he was only 4 days old. He had a stroke when he was in the first grade. That is when they determined it was time for him to be put on the waiting list. He waited 351 days. Then on January 23rd, 2015, he received his new heart. His family is so grateful for this gift of life. Now that he has his new healthy heart, he has become a heartbreaker himself. He's quite the ladies' man. Go, Alex.